So earlier I answered your question about are Korean Americans essential to America, and I said I wasn't sure, but we made important contributions. But I do believe America is an essential nation in the world today, and in that sense I absolutely agree with Mr. Joe that Korean Americans are in a unique position to help change America for the better. And so in that vein, I spoke about political activism before, but I do want to talk about three other points. One I term strategic advocacy, and this is something that we can really learn. I studied how African Americans in this country, with enormous obstacles and just unbelievable tragedy that they face, how they amass power, and how the Congressional Black Caucus works very extremely effectively and strategically. I think Korean Americans can learn a lot about that. Also from the Jewish American community, they have the Apex organization and also now J Street on the other side. I think a professional lobbying organization in Washington, and also as a former mayor, I see the importance of local grassroots organizing, city, here in New York City. I want to introduce my friend Jun Choi, who has been involved in so many important issues affecting the Korean American community here in New York City. As one example, the states play an enormous role in influencing where literally billions and trillions of dollars collectively are directed. And I don't want to forget about the very high number of Korean Americans who still live in poverty, who don't have basic healthcare insurance. Korean Americans are still the most linguistically isolated ethnic group in America, that we have our own enormous challenges here. And by being very strategic and effective and by practicing political activism, we could improve that as well. The third is related, I call it civic infrastructure. Earlier people talked about philanthropy. But this is a network of organizations and community leaders that work together that say, we're going to change, you go into a community and a group of leaders can say, we need to increase the rate of basic healthcare coverage from 30% to 90%, as an example. That can be done, and I've seen different groups do this, but we as a community, I have not seen very many good examples within the Korean American community of doing this. So that can be done through just building up civic infrastructure, building up folks who know how to run nonprofit organizations. This is a very service-oriented type of network. It could be cultural. Other people mentioned Mr. Tom Kang with a cultural organization, but there are important social service organizations that we are very weak on that can be built up. That's third. And then the last one, the fourth point, is something we can all do it's not always easy, but if each of us made a commitment to become not just friends, but good friends, and build understanding and trust with three people who are not like us, different ethnic groups, different multiracial groups, we need to build broad-based multiracial coalitions. And we have not been good at that. And that has to be done if Korean Americans will ever truly be viewed as true Americans, in my belief. We need to do that better. So thank you for the opportunity.